Thanks for doing this.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be back.
I promise we'll get you out before you got to go to work.
I always have to work.
Yep.
Every single time we do a reaction or this, it's always like, hurry, or we have to go as fast as we can because I work, which is just crazy.
Yeah,
I have a busy schedule.
Yeah, but I'm busy. You heard it here. Yeah. No, I'm kidding with you.
Not too busy for this.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
But we were just talking off camera about MoviePass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember that?
And you mentioned that you don't know like the scummy stuff that company was doing?
No. So the only memories I have of MoviePass are just that summer 2017 where you could literally, it was like you could do whatever you want. You can go to whatever
you got a
movie
a
want.
day.
Yeah. I've seen
for
everything.
$10 a month.
There were movies that I like didn't even know, but my
Yeah.
friends and I'd be like, you want to go see it? I'm like, sure, I don't care.
Out of respect, I still have the app. But my card is gone. But anyway, that company, they were making deals with studios so that your app wouldn't work for a movie if they'd made a deal to promote another movie. Like when Death Wish and Red Sparrow opened.
Yeah.
They had promotional deals with Death Wish, so you couldn't watch Red Sparrow on the app. That was one. Two,
Bad.
their plan was to make it so ludicrously cheap and a dumb business move that they got all these subscribers, which they did, and then they thought they could strong arm movie theaters into being like, we want a percentage of your concession stuff, because they wouldn't have come to your theater if it wasn't for us.
That's shady.
So instead of doing that, the theaters were like, we'll just make our own fucking subscription plan. Thanks for the idea.
And here we are.
But the funny thing is, something that people thought they would do, and I'm pretty sure they did, is they sold everyone's data as not like personal information, but like, hey, if given the option of they could see a movie for free, this is what they went to go see.
Marketing.
Yes.
Consumer data.
Market research.
Yeah.
And they sold that, and that's how they covered some of their losses, although they ended up going bankrupt, and it did not work.
It was destined to fail.
They knew they were going to fail, but they thought that they could make deals, and it just never happened.
Interesting.
There's a whole bunch. You can look up just the shady stuff MoviePass did, and I barely scratched the surface of it.
Really?
Yeah. So remember them. Hello, everyone. I'm Dalton Burdett.
And I'm Hannah Heiler.
And we are the movie.
Keep it in. Yeah.
And we are the Movie Nights.
Well, some of them.
If you're watching this, because you want to hear our uncensored,
unfiltered
thoughts and opinions about the world of movies and entertainment news. So kick back,
relax,
and thank you for being part of the conversation.
I almost saw subject there too. I almost didn't say filtered.
Yeah, and you have the easy lines.
They're not easy.
They are.
They're not easy. Do you know how much I get one word?
All right,
and
fine.
I have to put that much pizzazz
all right, fine.
in the
Let's
one word.
Let's switch.
Okay.
Go first.
Hold on, what's the first line?
Anyways, we have lots of fun news stories to get to today. For one, the box office, which I always love doing. Eternals opened number one at $71.2 million. It opened right below how Shang-Chi did. Fourth biggest opening of the pandemic, and I think worldwide it has like 160 so far. Not going to get a China release. Spider-Man No Way Home will, though.
Really?
That movie's going to make all the money. All the money.
Wow.
Dune came in second, dropping 49% from its second to third week, making another $7.7 million. No Time to Die at number 3, still in the top 5 in its fifth week, making another $6 million. Coming in at number 4 was Venom Let There Be Carnage at number 4, also staying in the top 5 in its sixth week. Coming in at number 5 was Ron's Gone Wrong. It only dropped 5% from its second to its third week, which is pretty good, made another $3.5 million. And I'll go ahead and do 6. 6 was The French Dispatch. It only dropped 1% from its second to third week.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. It's not a lot of money. It made another $2 million, but
percentage-wise, it shows that
but
it's
it also opened in 400 more theaters because they're doing a slow rollout.
I see.
But still, it maintained a certain level, which is nice. So yeah, those are the general box office numbers. What are your thoughts on Eternals coming in at number 1? Are you surprised to see anything up here? And what do you think about all that?
I'm really happy for Eternals. I know it has been getting like a 50-50. Some people love it, some people hate it. So I'm glad that it's still number one, that it opened that those preliminary reviews didn't prevent people from coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they're getting that recoupment.
It might.
Sure.
It depends on how much it drops next week,
That's fair.
because it is theater only. But yeah, you're all right that the initial reviews didn't stop the opening goers.
Yes. I'm happily surprised that No Time to Die is still up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a huge, James Bond, it's going to make all that money, but has it been 4 weeks now? Since 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I said it and I don't remember.
It's it's okay. The biggest surprise, good for Ron's Gone Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. I haven't seen that yet.
No, I want to see it really bad.
Yeah.
I want to see that. We got to see Spencer. We got to see French. We got to see French Dispatch, and we got to see there's another one. What was the other one?
Clifford.
Yes, Clifford. But
where's Spencer? That's what I was gonna say.
I already exited out of the story, but it wasn't in the top 6. But to be fair, that has not opened in many theaters. We are lucky that we got it in Orlando. So, yeah. In case you ever wanted to know where we're at, we're in Orlando, Florida. Moving on to our first big story from last week. After some conversations, you remember Sophia Boutella?
Yes. Yeah. Atomic Blonde. I was like,
Yes. Well, Zack Snyder, for those of you who don't know, is making a new sci-fi movie at Netflix that he describes as his Man of Steel Krypton seeing on all kinds of crack, which I'm there for. And he has tapped Sophia Boutella to star in the lead. This was an exclusive from Deadline. After signing his new overall deal with Netflix, Zack Snyder is moving forward to get his first film under the belt in front of cameras. As sources tell Deadline, he has set Sophia Boutella to star in Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder is directing the film as well as co-writing it with Shay Hatton and Kurt Johnston, based on the story by Snyder and Johnston. Deborah Snyder, Wesley Kohler, and Snyder will produce for the Stone Quarry, along with Eric Newman and Grand Electric. So, yeah, first of all, good for Zack Snyder for making an overall deal with Netflix. Get away from WB. It's in the past. Just move on. And he is. I thought Army of the Dead was fun. Army of Thieves, that was the other movie. I haven't watched Army of Thieves yet, but I'm going to, because I really, really want to watch it. But yeah. Oh my gosh, I think the Blade Runner anime comes out soon too.
We gotta watch it.
Man, I'm behind on everything. But anyway, going back to the story, a few years ago, like 2015 through like 2014 to 2018, they were really setting up Sophia Boutella to be like this really big star. And I thought she was good in everything. I loved her in Kingsman. I loved her in Atomic Blonde. She was in Hotel Artemis, as we discussed, but I didn't love the movie. I thought she was good in it. I did not like The Mummy and didn't like her in The Mummy, but she was getting roles on that level. And she didn't deserve to fall out in the way that she did. I don't know the story. I don't know what happened as to why. But I'm glad that we're going to get her back into the big movie like this again, because I thought she was a really good talent. What are your thoughts on Sophia Boutella joining Rebel Moon?
I'm basically going to echo the same thing you just said, because I had the same thoughts of, when you said her name, it did not ring a bell. I didn't recognize her face. I couldn't tell you what she was in. Looking at her IMDb, I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I know these movies that she's in. So I'm hoping, like you said, that this is her second
awakening.
Thank you. Yes, her second
resurgence.
Yes, because maybe this will be a huge hit, and then she will become a household name. But since she isn't right now, she's got the track record and the talent, so she can lead. Maybe not lead, but she can, helm these larger films, these blockbusters. So I have full faith in her that she can do this, especially with a director like Zack Snyder helping her out. I have a feeling she's going to be successful, but we'll have to see if this will, be her big break, if you will. So,
yeah.
But I'm nothing but excited for her.
Yeah, I'm excited for her too. Moving on to our next story. This is an exclusive from The Wrap, which is a good source whenever they drop some stories. This is Humberto Gonzalez. He actually used to be like an online scooper, and then they hired him at The Wrap.
Good for him.
Yes, some of you may remember, if you've been following online movie news for a while, back when Screen Junkies was cool, and back when we didn't know about all the stuff going on there, they would do this thing called movie fights, where they would have people come and debate about movies, and it was really, really fun. And Humberto Gonzalez will sometimes come on the show and participate in debate. But anyway, he has an exclusive from The Wrap, Gael García, Bernal, to star in Marvel's Werewolf-focused Disney Plus Halloween special coming next year. And if it's Marvel, which I believe the article does mention as well, yes. While details of the project are being kept secretly under wraps, individuals with knowledge say the character may be based on the Werewolf by Night character in Marvel Comics.
Okay.
We got vampires with Blade, werewolves with Werewolf by Night. But anyway, it says that production is going to start in early 2022, so I assume by October of 2022 is when this will all happen. But yeah, this is going to be this sounds super fun. And I have not seen Old, what Gael García Bernal has been in most recently.
Sure. And
his name isn't ringing a bell. I may have seen him in something before, but clearly he's getting more work. What are your thoughts on this? Are you familiar with the character at all? And are you just happy that Marvel's doing Halloween? Because that's what we've always wanted.
So I feel like I'm a perfect example of just a normal moviegoer or Marvel fan. I've seen all the movies.
Yeah.
I consider myself a fan, but I by no means have read the comics, or I don't know the lore or the other world of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not know who you're talking about at all. However, you said Halloween, Marvel, I'm in. Werewolves, sign me up. So I feel like I'm not the only one that's gonna feel that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no idea.
And I'm also not going to pretend to know the lore of Werewolf by Night. Sure. I just know that it was one of the older comics. And I know that a lot of characters got their first appearance in Werewolf by Night because it was like an experimental run. And so they would test characters in the run, and if a character was popular, they'd spin it off into their own series.
So what you're saying, this is an experimental run, so just some whack, crazy shit's going to happen,
I don't know how they're going to do it in the thing.
Okay.
But in the comics, it was a way, like, basically it sold enough to where they could keep it going, but they also used it as a testing ground for... We don't know about this character, so throw him in Werewolf by Night, and if people like him, we'll give him his own series.
All right.
Like a number of Marvel characters came from Werewolf by Night.
That's exciting. Very cool. But speaking of the actor, I never saw Old, and immediately when you said his name, I was like, I'm going to need some help. I don't know who he is. But that doesn't mean he's not phenomenal.
Yeah.
You never know. Marvel is, I feel like they're arguably the best company right now in casting. I feel like they've hit the nail on the head with every movie and TV show recently.
Nick and Kyler saw Old. While they didn't love the movie, they both said that he was good.
Okay. Well, then we trust Nick and Kyler.
We trust Nick and Kyler. Kyler.
We trust Kyler.
But Nick, for sure. But what do you guys think about the casting? Are you excited that Marvel's going to do Werewolf by Night? Let us know down below in the comment section. These last three stories are doozies.
Oh.
So you remember a while ago, we even reported it on the show that Black Panther star Letitia Wright had injured herself on the set of Black Panther.
Yes.
Well, that production has done everything they can filming around her while she recovers. Now she's needed, and she's not fully recovered. So, according to The Hollywood Reporter, the set has shut down production until early next year. Oh, no. So apparently, she must have really, I mean, she's not in like, serious damage, but she's hurt herself. I'm going to read straight from the article here from Hollywood Reporter. Wright's injury happened last August while filming a sequence involving a stunt rig on location in Boston. At the time, Marvel Studios said Wright's injury would ultimately not impact the shooting schedule of the film. After the injury, Wright left for London, where she had been since, while the production shot around her character, Shuri, the sister of T'Challa. Wright Shuri became a fan favorite, and then it just goes on. But basically, I think this tells us a few things. One, it tells us that they're committed to her recovering before shooting, because if you start too early, you're just going to hurt yourself again, which is good. But two, Shuri plays a major part in this movie if they've shut down production so that she can heal. Now, I know that there's been a lot of speculation as to her maybe even taking the mantle of Black Panther. None of that's been confirmed. I personally don't know how I feel about it, just because her character in the first Black Panther was very against tradition and was all about the new age. So unless they tie that story to Black Panther, because Black Panther is very traditionalist in Wakanda, I don't know how I'd feel about it. Now, they could do the story where I'm watching it and I'm like, I buy into it, but based off of the initial thing, I don't know, maybe give it to Denai Guerrera's character, who I really liked, or, no, Lupita Nyong'o's character.
Yes.
I think she'd be a great Black Panther, or even M'Baku, just because that'd be fun.
I'd love to see it.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on Letitia Wright inconsequentially shutting down production on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, And do you think that this also implicates that she's a bigger part of the film than we initially realized?
Yeah, when you told me the story like just now, I was like, wait, I totally had forgotten. It had been so long since you had reported that she was injured. I assumed that she had just gotten better and that, there wasn't, I didn't hear any news that they were back on production, but now hearing that she's still injured is just insane. And I know they wouldn't release any details of what happened or, what's wrong with her injury, but I hope it's nothing that will prevent not only this movie, but hopefully not anything with like her career or bring it beyond this.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not that serious, that she can recover quickly. But yeah, I am happy that the production is giving her the time and space she needs to recover versus, like you said, forcing her to pick up where she left off and make things worse. So that is a positive thing to hear about her, about the company Marvel, that they care about her enough. But see, I want to think that she's playing a huge role, and that's why they're shutting down production, because they need her. I don't know if it directly relates. I don't know if I don't think that correlates directly that she has a big role, only because how long have they been shooting since
before August. They've been shooting a long time.
It's a long time. So that doesn't mean, like, if it was like a couple weeks and that was all that they were able to do, and now that they need to, but 2 months is a long time.
Yeah, that's true. They did shoot a lot without her.
Mm-hmm. So not saying, because it is a huge, insanely large blockbuster movie where all these shots and I'm sure there's stunts and the production is by no means short, but I don't know. I directly don't think that she's.
You're right, because for all we know, she recovers. They shoot for 2 weeks and they're like, We're done. So I didn't even think about that. Yeah. That's a good way of bringing that up.
You could be right. I could be right. Neither of us could be. We have no idea. But of course, it would be cool if she had a big part. I loved her in everything she's been in. She's not only a great character, but I like her performance. So would I love it if she was a huge role? Yes, but I don't think that this directly means it doesn't. I don't think this tells us anything.
Yeah. So. No, that's. Really good comments. Really, really good comments. I didn't even think about it from that way.
Thank you. I guess that's why you have a co-host. We got to bounce ideas off each other.
Crazy. All right. So these next two, like I said, doozies. So I don't know how familiar you are with the feud between The Rock and Vin Diesel.
No.
Okay. So
I've watched 3 Fast and Furious movies.
So The Rock came in for Fast 5, and he did Fast 6, and then he was in Fast 7. But noticeably in Fast 7, he didn't share any screen time with Vin Diesel. Or if he did, it was very brief. And then in 8, they weren't in any scenes together. And if they were, they had to shoot them at different times. And it came out that The Rock and Vin Diesel did not get along. And that basically, from The Rock's point of view, it's just that Vin Diesel wasn't a hard worker. He was lazy. And for something that was his franchise, he's like, that's not how The Rock rolls. And he's like, listen, I think these movies would be better and the productions would go smoother if you would just get off your ass, basically. And Vin Diesel on his side is saying, look, I'm a producer of these movies, and he doesn't like the fact that I'm treating him not like a movie star because I'm in charge of these things going on. It was basically just back and forth. A lot of people thought it was fake. A lot of people were like, oh, they're doing like, because The Rock came from WWE. They're like, oh, they're doing like a WWE feud, and then they'll battle it out in the movie. But then as time went on, Rock wasn't in Fast 9. He did his own spinoff without Vin Diesel being in the movie, and people were like, oh, shit. Like, this is something. Now, they've had a couple times they've sent messages to each other, like congratulations on weddings or something, but that was it. And then even a few weeks ago, The Rock gave comments talking about how he's done with Fast and Furious unless it's a Hobbs and Shaw thing. Like, he's not going to go do it. Well, on Instagram, Vin Diesel publicly basically begged The Rock to come back to be in Fast 10 and Fast 11 because it's the 2-part finale of the saga. And this is what it said. My little brother Dwayne, the time has come. The world awaits the finale of Fast 10, and as you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in the house. There is not a holiday that goes by where they and you don't send well wishes. But the time has come, legacy awaits. I told you years ago that I was going to fulfill my promise to Paul Walker. I swore that we would reach and manifest the best Fast finale, and that is in 10. I say this out of love, but you must show up. Do not leave the franchise idle. You have a very important role to play. Hobbs can't be played by anyone else. I hope that you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny. So it's very weird But with how Vin Diesel is, I think it's sincere. I think it could have used someone else looking at it and editing it a little bit. But this leaves me with two minds. One, he's trying to use the court of public opinion to get The Rock to come back. Because if he just sent this as a private message, The Rock would have no problem saying no. Now, Rock now looks like an asshole if he says no. Two, the deal was made months ago. Mm-hmm. And they're playing a PR game for him to be like, okay, brother, I'll come back and finish, I don't know what the right answer is. But either way, it was strange and unexpected. What are your thoughts on Vin Diesel reaching out to The Rock publicly like this? Do you think a deal has been reached and that he was actually trying to do this, or do you think something else is going on?
So I don't know if you'll include my face at all while you were reading that, but I could just feel myself getting more and more mad while you were reading that. I was like, ew, that's like my face, I could feel it. But in case you don't show, I will speak on that. That did not sit well with me. I was not a fan of that. Exactly what you said. It feels like he's cornering The Rock, 100%. Mm-hmm. It feels like he's, like you said, pressuring him into doing something that's about my kids and this and that, my brother Dwayne. It's like that. It just feels very
But Vin Diesel's all about family.
Is he though? I don't know. That really rubbed me the wrong way. If he is a producer on these, I'm not saying if he is, but if he was a professional producer on these films, I'm going to play dumb, if you will, and pretend that there's nothing going on behind the scenes just for this. If this was his way of trying to get him back, it was an Instagram post asking, that's completely unprofessional, and the cornering him like that, it's only going to make production worse. If they are still in a feud and then The Rock agrees out of pressure from the public, it's not going to make a good film. He's not going to want to be there. I mean, yes, he's a great performer, he can be professional on screen, but it's not going to make any sort of a fake rekindling is not a real, it's not a rekindling. It very much rubbed me the wrong way. Unprofessional. I'm not a fan.
Now, if it were to come out that they did make a deal months ago, and that this is just the WWE PR way of getting people excited, because the moment Rock responds and says, I'm in, it's a story. If it came out that this had already happened and this is just how they decided to go about it, would that change your feelings? Or do you still think that this was the wrong route to take, even if it was pre-planned?
I think it's the wrong route. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so passionate about this. I don't know.
Shots fired at Vin Diesel.
I guess I just love The Rock so much. I'm like, protect him at all costs. No. I think the reason that makes me think that this is real, I have no idea. But like you said,
it wasn't polished.
It was not polished. It seemed like he really was like, okay, Instagram, let me do this. It didn't seem polished. It seemed like it was actually written by him, not some sort of PR executive. Yeah. It was sloppy, really, I think. So if it does come out that it is some sort of stunt, I would be shocked because of how unclean and unprofessional it was. If like you're saying, this is going to be some PR mood and some WWE, stunt, there are so much better ways to do this. In Instagram, I don't know. If your idea is to go viral and create online chatter and people talking about this, that's not the way to do it. There's so many more successful pre-planned publicity stunts, and I don't know. I feel like it's not going to hit the way it should if it was planned.
I gotcha. Okay. Very cool. What do you guys think about the whole situation? Let us know down in the comments below. All right, guys. Final story coming today. This one just dropped yesterday, and I'm very upset.
Oh, why?
You know how Patty Jenkins is going to make a Rogue Squadron movie for Star Wars?
Absolutely. Never forget.
It's been indefinitely delayed due to scheduling conflicts. This is what The Hollywood Reporter has to say. Rogue Squadron, the Star Wars feature project due to be directed by Wonder Woman filmmaker Patty Jenkins, has been caught in the tractor beam, and will take a little longer to make it to the big screen. Jenkins and writer Matthew Robinson have been developing Squadron for Lucasfilm for over a year, with the goal of starting production in 2022. It was to have gone into pre-production by the end of this year. However, sources say producers and the filmmaking team came to the realization that Jenkins' schedule and other commitments wouldn't allow for the window needed to make the movie in 2022. Thus, Squadron has been taken off the production schedule. The hope is that once Jenkins fulfills her previous commitments, she'll be able to return to the project. Squadron would have been the first feature since the end of the Skywalker saga, which wrapped with The Rise of Skywalker. It had a release of December 22nd, 2023, and while that currently remains in place, the date will most likely shift later on. It is unclear what, if any, of Jenkins' commitments were at issue specifically, but she is in development of Wonder Woman 3 for Warner Brothers and a Cleopatra movie for Paramount. Sources say Wonder Woman 3 was initially to have followed Squadron, but this could shift now that the latter is off the table. So, the official story is scheduling conflicts. And that could all be true, right? And I believe that that is what the sources at the Hollywood Reporter were told, right? But the truth is, in most things, if you're working on something for over a year, you would know if your schedule couldn't align. Now, COVID delays, yes. That's why I kind of believe this story, because of unprecedented things going on, especially in scheduling and filmmaking and COVID testing and the new strike, like all these things. Well, the truth is, there has been a history of Lucasfilm and filmmakers ever since they were bought by Disney and having falling outs, people quitting, people being fired, especially being very reactionary to previous projects. Things that come to the top of my head are Lord and Miller being fired with 2 weeks left of filming on Solo. You have Josh Trank, who was going to make a Boba Fett movie. They were going to announce it at Star Wars Celebration, but then Fan 4 Stick opened, and they just fucking buried the project. Like, that was it. And, very reactionary stuff going on over there. And there's more examples of that. Colin Trevorrow in Duel of the Fates, an episode, the original plan for episode 9. And I'm afraid that this is another one of those scenarios, that with Wonder Woman 84 not getting the reception that they were hoping for, or something happened, and now they're upset with Patty Jenkins. Or at least, I hope it's not creative differences and Patty just doesn't want to do it, because I was really looking forward to the movie, because Wonder Woman 1 is awesome, and the way Patty Jenkins was talking about, her family having a history of fighter pilots, now she gets to do it in Star Wars, it was such a cool idea. So I really hope they make the Rogue Squadron movie, and I hope she makes the Rogue Squadron movie. But if in a month or 2 months' time we see another exclusive saying that she's exited the project, then I think we know what really happened. Because if it really is scheduling, and they really are committed to waiting for her, then that's exactly what they'll do. They'll wait for her to be ready to film the project. What are your thoughts on the whole situation? Do you think it's really scheduling conflicts?
I'm on the...
You and all your insider knowledge.
Let me tell you, me and Patty, we've been chatting it up. And I don't know. I don't know what I believe. I have, like you said, I have a weird...
there's just something fishy, right?
There's something fishy, but I don't know who I don't know who I believe. I have feelings towards Lucasfilm, and like you said, all of the terrible directorial mistakes that they made, like firing people and everything you mentioned. So I just have a weird taste in my mouth when it comes to them. Kathleen Kennedy, all of that. So maybe it's a trauma response after every time. I'm like, oh my God, they did it again.
Yeah, right.
But I let's say that it is a scheduling thing. Could there be so the idea is that she maybe picked up another project that hasn't been released, and she's going to be doing that before this one? Or
maybe Cleopatra suddenly is ready to go, or they don't think it's Wonder Woman 3 because they still have to wait on that, because I know that Gal Gadot is supposed to play Cleopatra.
Oh,
so
good for her.
So it's like a whole thing.
I see.
And I don't know what it could be. And even the Hollywood Reporter is like, we're not sure what the commitment is, but it's probably Cleopatra or Wonder Woman.
I don't know. Of the companies that would budge, I feel like Disney and Lucasfilm are not one. I feel like they would have laid down the hammer, been like, no, we're doing this movie. You accepted this. You accepted these scheduling things. Like Cleopatra.
Or maybe it is scheduling, but it was a hey, this isn't so bad. Maybe because they're also developing a movie from Taika Waititi and a movie from Kevin Feige.
Sure.
So it's like maybe one of them is ready to go.
That's fair.
And they're just like, hey, they're ready, so we're going to go ahead and do theirs. You can wait. You can go do Wonder Woman or Cleopatra and then come back. But they're ready to go, so we're going to... Maybe that's the situation. But
That's
then
fair.
we would start hearing exclusives of, that movie is ready to go, you know? So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, by the time we hear a story, it happened months ago.
Sure.
And that's the truth of it. So
Sure.
we'll have to just wait and see about everything.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about Patty Jenkins and the whole scheduling conflict fiasco? Let us know down in the comments below. I think that's all we have for today's show. Thank you so much for stepping in.
Thank you for having me again.
And continue sending well wishes to Nick. He will hopefully be back after the holidays. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.